Hello, welcome to another exciting tutorial on Flexteck YouTube channel. In this section, we will dive into the core of C programming variables. Understanding variables is fundamental to mastering any programming language, and C is no exception. Let's explore the world of variables together. Hope you're ready. What is variable in C programming? Well, a variable is a name given to a memory location that can store a value of a specific data type. In C programming, variables are used to store data and can be manipulated by the program. Each variable has a specific data type, indicating the kind of value it can store. For example, you can use a variable to store a number, a character, a string, or a pointer. Types of variable. We have different types of variable. Let's go through them. Let's first take a look at the integer variable. The integer variable int is used for storing whole numbers. For example, we have 42 minus 15 and 0. Now let's take a look at the floating point variable. The floating point variable is used for storing real numbers, numbers with a decimal point. For example, 3.14 minus 0.004 and 8.0. Next is the character variable. Now, the character variable, denoted as char, is used for storing individual characters. Example, you have the A, you have 5, you have the dollar sign. You can also have some other things like the hash sign, the ampersand, and the rest. These are different characters. So it's used to word store characters. Next, we'll be looking at the string variable. The string variable char is used for what? Storing sequence of characters. Example, hello world. A string, like I said formerly in our last tutorial, constant and string. A string is a collection or an array of a single character or arrays of characters. A character is denoted by a single quotation sign where you have something like this. But a string is denoted using what? A double quotation sign. Do you get it? Now, we have a variable that stores character. We have variable that stores string. This string character talks about a collection of what? Characters. Hello world. They say hello flex tech. These are what? They are string. They are what? A sequence or an array of characters. And they are denoted using the what? The using the double quotation mark. Unlike a single character which use what? A single quotation mark. Do you get it? And next, we'll be looking at the Boolean variable. Okay. The Boolean variable bool is used for storing what? It's used for storing true or false values. Example, you have true or false. Are you getting it? These are called Boolean. Boolean is something is either true or is false. So these are variable that stores what? True or false. A variable can be either be local or global. Local variables are declared and used within a function or a block of code. They are created when the function or the block is entered and destroyed when it is existed. Now I'll show you example of local variable. So this is something like this is a function, right? A main function, and we have declared a variable a inside this main function. Now, this variable a is what? Local to this main function. It cannot be accessed by another function or outside this main function. That is what we call local variable. So it's used inside this function and destroyed when this function is true with its work and existed from when we exist from this function, this variable that we declared is what destroyed. This is what we call what an example of what a local variable. Let's talk about global variable. Global variables are declared outside any function or block of code. They are accessible from what? From any part of the program and exist until the program ends. Now, let me show you an example of a global variable. You know, this is our main function. If we come here outside the main function and we declare a variable int b equal to 10, this variable is a global variable. It can be accessed inside here when we do something like printf. If we do something like print f and we say percent d and b. Now, our output will be 10 because this is a global variable. Can be accessed from what? From outside the main function. Unlike this one, this a variable, the scope is within the main function and cannot be accessed by any other function. But if we do another function and we call on this variable, we'll be able to access it because it's a global variable. Now let's look at declaration and initialization of what? Variable. Now, for us to use a variable in C programming, you need to declare it first. Declaration tells the compiler the name and the type of the variable. For example, int x declares an integer variable named x. Char C declares a character variable named C. Whenever we come here, just like in this place where I did int a, I declared a variable a and assign it what with a value 5. If you can declare a variable a and this is just declare, and you can come down and say a equal to what? This is me initializing it. When we declare a variable like this int a, we have not initialized it. But when we do a equal to 5, we have initialized the variable with a value. But you can also declare and initialize at the same time. This is what I did when I did it here when I did a equal to 5. Here I declared and initialized the variable at the same time. This int signifies that this is an integer value. This can only take an integer value and cannot take any other value. If you let us say you cannot put the a here because this is what I'll say, or you write Flexteck here. This is a string, and the variable type is an integer, so there'll be an error. So this is how to declare what a variable. Let's talk about variable naming and conventions. There are some rules and conventions for naming variables in C programming. Some of these are variable names can consist of letters, digits, and underscores. Variable names cannot start with a digit. That means when we want to declare a variable, we cannot just say int 5 int 5ab. This is wrong. But we can say underscore a5. This is correct, equal to since an integer equal to 5. But we cannot start the variable name with what? With a number. Now, variable names are case sensitive, meaning x and x are different variables. That means when we declare a variable, let's say char x equal to a, then we come and say char x equal to a. These are two different variables. Although holding the same value, they are different variable because in C, x, the small letter x and the capital letter X are what? Are different what? Are different variables. So you should be careful when what? When giving your naming your variable, you don't expect to what? To give well, after declaring and initializing your variable char x, and you want to print the variable x, and you say printf, and you want to print the what? The uppercase x variable. No, it will give you an error. You say an error saying that this variable has not been what? Declared or initialized. You're getting it, it has not been declared. So there's a difference between you initializing the lowercase letter x as a variable and the uppercase letter x as a variable. Variable name should be meaningful and descriptive, but not too long. For example, when we want to declare a variable, maybe a variable that stores the name, we can do something like this: char name and equal to, hold on, char name equal to, let's say, Flexteck. Now, this this variable name is very descriptive because it's showing us that this variable is holding what? A value, which is name. Not that when you want to store the name, you just say something like number, and the value is holding is what? It's a name value. No, no, it's not descriptive. So if you are using the variable, you, it has to be what? Descriptive. Whatever you are trying to store in that variable should be what? The name of that variable. Maybe you want to store something like surname. You can do surname, and you know you can put someone's surname there, and just say, let me just say, Kanu as a surname. Now, this will tell someone or whoever that is reading your code that this variable surname is what? A name, but what? A surname. Do you get it? And mind you, your variable name should not be long, excessively long. Maybe you're on like surname and full name. No, no, this is wrong. You shouldn't have something like this. Your variable name should be short and descriptive. Again, variable names should not be what? Keywords or reserved words in C, such as the int, the char, the if, the for, etc. In C, there are a lot of keywords. There are some keywords that are reserved that cannot be used as a variable name. Like example, we gave you the int. You cannot come and say, okay, I want to declare some maybe a variable, and I say char int. No, this will give you an error. Or you want to say int int using an int as a variable name. No, it's wrong. So there are a lot of reserved keywords. You have the for, you have the if, the char, and a lot of them. Maybe I'll do a video that will show you some of our our C reserved keywords which are not to be used as a variable name. Using variable name in C. To use a variable in C programming, you need to refer to its name. You can perform various operations on variables such as assignment, arithmetic comparison, etc. For example, s equal to 20 assigns what? Assigns the value 20 to the variable. y y equal to x plus 5 assigns the value of x plus 5 to the variable y. You know, here we have declared an initialized word. Let's assume we have declared x and we are initializing it with 20, and this x now hold the value 20. Here we have also what the let's say we have declared the variable y somewhere and we are initializing it with x. Now this x will be expanded to what, 20 plus 5. That means if the output is going to be, we are going to have what, we are going to print y, we are going to have 25. Now here z equal to x plus y. You know, x has a value, y has a value. um Z now equal to x multiplied by y. That means we are saying 20 multiplied by what? 25. This Z will hold the value here, and when we print it, we get the output. In this example, if x is greater than y, we are comparing the value of x and y, and if you are to get the output, we are going to get an output of what? A Boolean output, true or false. Do you get it? In C, the return value is either 1 or 0. If it returns 1, that is true. If it returns 0, that is false. Now let's move to the best practices in C. To write clear and maintainable code using variable in C programming, you should follow some best practices such as what? Choose a descriptive name. Select name that reflects the variable purpose, like I said earlier. Initialize before use. That before you use any variable, you should initialize it. For example, let's assume I declare a variable int. Hey, before I can use a in my code or in a function, I need to initialize it. If not, I will not be able to use it. What do we mean by initialize? When we say we have declared the variable a, we can just say a equal to 5. We are giving it a value. This is called initialization. So you are initializing what? That value to hold what? A value. That is what we call initialization. Secondly, thirdly, stay consistent with data type. Use the appropriate data type for your variable to ensure efficient memory usage. That means if you are going to store an integer, we use the int. If you are going to store a float, we use the float. Let's say float data type to store what? Float data type, let's say a equal to 2.0. Now, this is a float data type. If you have to store a character, you use the char keyword and say char name, no, char a equal to what? Equal to, if you are going to store a string, you can either do like this, equal to, or you can also store a character like this. Oh, sorry, I made a mistake. When you say char, you have to give it a name. Uh-huh. Then let me say surname here. This can also store what? A, a string. Are you getting it? Yeah, so it is what? It is better to what? Stay consistent with data type, using the appropriate data type for your variable to ensure efficient memory usage. Now that you have grabbed the basic of variable in C, it is time to apply this knowledge in your coding journey. Try and do hands-on activity, practical use of these variables, what you have learned. Check for more works to do, more tasks to solve. Then everything will stick to your mind, your memory. Happy coding. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel and like this video.